Hi, this is Arabella Gordon with 900 Songs. So most of you are new to my channel, so I want to welcome you. And those of you that have been faithful followers and friends, thank you so much for coming back. Now, when I started the concept of 900 songs, I decided that it didn't matter to me if it were 100 people, 1,000 people, or 10,000 people. I was going to commit to sharing my life and my journey with you and help you to develop songs that are in your heart so you can share them with the world. So today we're going to talk specifically about songs that come kind of from heaven or from God. Sometimes we work very hard to make a poem sound right, and then we struggle to put melody and music behind it and make a song happen. And there are other times when it's like a song, the melody and the words and the whole song just is given to us, and we're just observers taking record, right? And it's crazy. But I want to talk about songs that come that way specifically. Now, I want to tell you a story about something that happened to me when I was barely 6. We had just moved to the United States. It's my mom, my dad, my brother, and my sister. There were 5 of us. And when we started out, we were in a kind of a tenement apartment in Northern Virginia. So my parents were very wealthy in Korea, and my aunts and uncles had come to the States before me, and they finally got my dad to come. He was the last one to hold out in Korea to his good life in Korea and to come to this new country. So we lived in this apartment in Northern Virginia, and just picture government subsidized apartments with mostly very, very low income Caucasian families and a few Hispanics. And we were, I think, the only Asian family in that immediate community. But anyway, it was a 1-bedroom apartment, and there were 5 of us. And so my sister and I, we would sleep on the floor. And one night I was sleeping on the floor, and I was awakened by a beautiful sound. And I was listening to the song, and I couldn't speak English at this time, and I didn't know anything about American radio or American radio songs. I knew nothing about the culture of music in America. But I heard the song, and I wanted to get closer to it. And I was wondering where it was coming from. So I got up. And when I got up, I couldn't hear it anymore. So I thought, what happened? Was someone in a car driving by playing it on the radio? But that wasn't likely. The parking lot was so far from my bedroom, that probably wasn't likely. So I thought maybe I had dreamed it. So I lied back down, and I would go back to sleep. And as soon as my head hit the ground, I heard the song again. So I thought, oh, it's back. So I get up thinking maybe it's someone walking by my window with a portable radio in the middle of the night. So I peek out the blinds. There's no one out there. It's completely silent, and my sister is sleeping, and I'm the only one clearly hearing the song. So I lie back down. As soon as I lie back down, I hear the song pick up where it left off. And I don't get up anymore. I just listen to it and think it's really beautiful. And then eventually I go to sleep, and I forget all about it. Now, fast forward 6 years. My parents worked very, very hard, saved a lot of American dollars, and bought a big house in Maryland. And when I was about 12, we moved to Maryland. And so during our first year, it was probably within months of moving in, my dad had discovered this amazing American phenomenon called the yard sale. So he was driving home, and he saw someone with stuff outside and people milling about, and he stopped so he could see what he might find, right? And he ended up buying a whole set of 8-track music tapes and an 8-track player. So for those of you who are young or don't know what an 8-track is, it came before the CD, before cassette tapes, before the vinyl, actually probably about the same time as the vinyl record, and a little bit before. So these 8 tracks were these cartridges like this, and they had this wide tape, and you had songs on it. And there was a company called K-Tel, and they would make compilation tapes with songs from different artists from the same era. And my dad had this one tape that he popped in there and played, and it was maybe the second song of this tape. And when the song came on, I was mesmerized because it was the exact song that I heard in that bedroom when I was 6 years old and did not speak English. It was the song. It was that song. And that song was actually, I should let you all guess, but I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. It was More Than a Feeling by Boston. So the band Boston had in the future years would come to have more meaning in my life. Fast forward 10 years, a great impact in my life, but I didn't know it then. I just thought, that's the song I heard, and I love that song. It never occurred to me to see what other songs they had. I just loved that song, and that was it. All right, so I wasn't into classic rock, I was into pop music, just like all 12, 13-year-olds were. And so I didn't get into classic rock, as I said, until, in my 20s. But that song and the message in it had meant so much to me. So every now and then I would get some kind of a hunch or a dream of something big, and I would go, come on, let's bring it down to the real world. And that song would come back to me and speak to me and say, no, there's something here. It's more than a feeling. So as much as I love the song and the melody, the title itself and the chorus was a message to me that was a mainstay in my life. So I want to encourage you. I want to go ahead and make a disclaimer here that I am a born-again Christian, and majority of the songs I write are church songs. But I do have a whole portfolio of songs that probably would not be used in church, but are absolutely suitable for radio and for crossover and for Christian radio. So I want to encourage all of you, whether you believe in God right now or not, whether you consider yourself a Christian or not, I just want to say this. All of music belongs to God. And that said, that He invested into us this thing called music, our ability to wield frequencies, sounds, melodies, lyrics, harmonies, and put them on recording so others could hear what we hear in our hearts and in our minds. And it's a very, very powerful gift that He gave us, and it also gives us great responsibility. But ultimately, all of this gift is His, and one day it'll all go back to Him. And right now, while it's in our stewardship, not all of us is using it responsibly. We're all using it for whatever purposes that we have intended for it. And this isn't the place to judge it, but I just want you to know that there are sometimes songs that come, they come straight from heaven or from the heart of God. I truly believe that God has different frequencies that He has saved and reserved for different times in our mankind's history. And there are songs, melodies, frequencies, phrases, words that would go into a song that would mold our culture. I don't know if you realize that the lyrics in our songs do actually mold culture. It becomes part of language. Can we go into the dictionary and put words in there? Maybe not. Maybe so. There are things that we as songwriters can say in a song that if it becomes so popular, it goes around the world, and so many people come to use it, that language becomes part of our culture. That is the power we have as songwriters. To bring up someone's day, to destroy someone's day, to express the sadness and get empathy, or to declare what God is saying to us for our generation and for the generations to come. So I want to talk about songs like that, songs that maybe we don't work to craft, but songs that come to us from heaven, and we are merely recording it. And as we release these very frequencies, sounds, words, and language in our very, very unique song voice and process to our hearts and our musical talents and abilities, that after it's being released, something different happens in our atmosphere and on our planet. So if those things, those thoughts are brand new to you, I want you to meditate on those in these days, weeks, and months and years to come. That the songs that you write, you don't know. You don't know how far it's going to go. Sometimes a song that comes from heaven is just for you and God together. Sometimes it's for one person. Sometimes it's for the whole world. Sometimes it's for the healing of plants, animals, some aspect of culture, physical healing. God uses these songs for different things. I feel that it is our worship of God to offer our services back to Him. If He would like to write a song through us, that we would be willing vehicles to write His songs, whatever His purposes are. And we would take it as far as they would go, and let God use them on earth, right? So if you're up for something like that and you haven't already done the 900 songs meditation, the first meditation, which was released, I believe, last week, 900 songs, dream a song. If you have not done that meditation, please do it. So it's 10 minutes and 30 seconds long. If you want to do it right before bed, it's perfect. At the end, it will take you down so you can go to sleep or bring you back up if you would like to come back up. So if you do it before bed, that's great. But if you want to do it sometime in the morning or in the afternoon, that's fine too. There is a way to come back up and not go to sleep. But this meditation, you will meet with Jesus and He will give give you a song and you will remember it. And when you come back to your waking state, you'll write down the lyrics and whatever melody you got, you can record it on your phone. And we're going to talk about it in future episodes. So please check out that meditation, 900 songs, Dream a Song meditation. It's got theta beats underneath it. So it'll get you an alpha state, between alpha state and theta state, which is where your heart is very creative and you can hear the voice of God in your heart, and you can hear things in your heart that you cannot connect with in your waking day. So please check out that meditation. Do it every day. Sometimes I do it several times a day, and it helps me a lot to focus and center and feel healed and feel well and to connect with the Lord. Now, I want to tell you what happened to me on June 1st, 2024. I normally do some kind of a meditation that takes me into sleep, or where I do a quantum jump. So I did this the night before, and I went to sleep, and in that state, I had a dream. I dreamt a song. So in this dream, I was in a room that was probably in a third world country. It was in a structure in a third world country. So I started looking from my left to right, and what I saw were children, lots of children, maybe ages 8 to 14 or so. And as I went from left to right, I saw most of the children over here were African, and then I saw Middle Eastern and Indian children, and then I saw Southeast Asian children. It's almost like I went across the globe and saw a segment of children. And they were all younger, and all of a sudden this music started to cue up, and all the children of all these different countries and different languages took a deep breath and began singing in English this song and these lyrics. And I listened and I heard, and I thought, wow. And the song, I guess when I woke up, I thought I was surprised that it wasn't some kind of a tween pop song, but it was more of a song that you might have heard in the 90s with long-haired hard rock bands, like a rock ballad. And the words that they were singing, let me read it to you here. The words that they were singing was, tough times, don't try and tell me reasons now, 'cause I don't want your mind, and these are tough times. I'll come and find you later when I'm up for another try. It's the outcome of this broken world, deceived by a fallen star. The only way to save me is to lay my body down, and he will rise. And the verse goes on like this. Everybody wants this heaven, but nobody wants to die. Everybody seeking truth, while cherry picking lies. So everybody wants this heaven, but nobody wants to die. Everybody seeking truth, while cherry picking lies. And there was another verse, and when I woke up, I made up a bridge to it also. But I saw this in a dream. So I dreamt the song and I wrote it down. So I got this song out of a dream. I didn't write it. And when I went to write my own parts to it, it came easily. So even if I didn't see it in my dream, I brought it back with me. And I was able to remember it and record it. Actually, when I woke up from the dream, I grabbed my notebook, which was next to my bed, touched my touch lamp, and wrote the lyrics down. And the next day I had to go on a 2-day trip for work, and I didn't do anything with it. I didn't sing it. I didn't record the melody into my phone or anything. And I was like, oh my gosh, what if I forget? But when I came back from my trip, I sat at the keys and I started working the lyrics, and the melody came back to me. So I did remember the melody, and I did chart it. So I do have a song, and it was a song that I got in my dream. So this is highly possible for you. And for those of you that are songwriters, if you're a songwriter, you can get the songs like this all the time. So if you are able to get songs from dreams, it will go a long way in your being a prolific songwriter. So if you can receive songs in your dreams and wake up to remember it and record it, it will take you a long way in being a prolific writer, writing a lot of songs very fast. All right, so make sure you check out that meditation video. Maybe you can write a song every day using that video. If you dreamt one song a night, that's 7 songs a week. That's 30 songs a month. So use those meditations and see if it jumpstarts your well of creativity and you start cranking out songs. If you have not seen the video yet, how I wrote 900 songs, please watch that video. It tells you some tips on how I did it, how I actually mathematically got 900 songs in 8 years. But one of the ways to make yourself more prolific and be able to tap into your well of creativity is being able to dream songs and remember it when you wake up. All right, so make sure you watch that video and do those meditations. So I want to go ahead and read something to you. This year is the 40th anniversary of Prince's Purple Rain. And I think somebody from Minneapolis had written a book about, these trivia about the Purple Rain movie and about Prince. So I'm going to go ahead and read just a little bit of this. Article 29, on the Purple Rain soundtrack, the party starter opener, Let's Go Crazy, was actually a deeply Christian song to Prince. The D elevator was Satan. He told Chris Rock in a 1997 MTV interview. It was, stay happy, stay focused, and you can beat the D elevator. So the D elevator was Satan. And to Prince, this was his way of expressing his understanding of the battle between a Christian and Satan. So if you look at a song like this, Tough Times, it sounds like it's a pessimistic song, but it really isn't. To me, this is a deeply Christian song. Like Prince saw Let's Go Crazy as a deeply Christian song. I see this as a deeply Christian song. So it's talking about a person that feels futile because they don't have God, or they have forsaken God or separated from God. Don't tell me reasons. I don't want, they are done with it and they don't want to hear what the world has to say. And if I want it, I'll come and find you later. And this person realizes all this nonsense is the outcome of a broken world because Adam and Eve sinned in the Garden of Eden and deceived by a fallen star. That was a serpent that deceived Eve in the garden, right? The only way to save me is to lay my body down. So in the Christian world, we had this thing where we put off the old man and put on the new man, which is in Christ Jesus, right? And we are living sacrifices. We become dead. Our old selves become dead and we live for him, right? So only way to save me is to lay my body down and he will rise. He will resurrect us in our own hearts, right? And he will rise. He will be glorified. So to me, this is a deeply Christian song. But if I didn't say it to you, you probably wouldn't know. Like very few people probably thought Let's Go Crazy is a deeply Christian song. He had to explain it to Chris Rock. And people are still going, But see, I see it as plain as day. So for someone who's Christian, they can see the gospel in everything. I mean, I was young and I remember seeing the gospel in Pinocchio. How the father made this kid, and this kid wanted the world and ran away and became enslaved, but he came back and the father received him back, and then he became a true son. I mean, I could cry. It's the gospel. It's the gospel, the story of the prodigal son. So if you're a Christian, you'll always see the message in it, probably. But if you're not, it may not be apparent to you. But I said all that to say, I know a lot of you are Christians. And so if you are, and you get a song that doesn't seem overtly Christian to you, do not throw it away. I want you to write it because you don't know. If you throw it away, you may throw away something very, very special and unique that God's given to you at such a time as this. So write the song down and think about it. Just because it's not a song that's suitable for Sunday service, it doesn't mean it didn't come from God or from heaven. It doesn't mean that it can't be useful. It may be that he has a big plan for it. So be encouraged and save everything that you write. All right, folks, so I want to thank you for spending this time with me. Please, if you have any comments, please write them down below. I'm looking for them. I want to read them. I want to know who you are. If you want to be friends on Facebook, please send me a request. Say, I saw you on 900 Songs. I was so happy to have you as my friend. And I do relate with all my friends, and I remember every single one of my Facebook friends. None of them are fake friends. I know all of them. And I'm happy to have more. So thank you so much for joining me. And this is Arabella Gordon. I will see you next time with 900 Songs.